Today, we delve deeply into a critical security vulnerability known as authentication workflow manipulation, a sophisticated threat that can undermine even the most robust and carefully engineered login systems by exploiting implementation flaws. A standard, secure multi-step login process typically involves several distinct stages, such as initial credential submission and additional verifications, each precisely designed to verify a user's identity in a comprehensive and layered manner. This process often begins with entering a username, followed by a strong password, and frequently includes a second factor like a time-based code from an authenticator app or a one-time code delivered via SMS to the user's registered phone. Each of these steps is absolutely crucial, serving as a vital gatekeeper to ensure that only legitimate, authorized users can gain access to sensitive accounts, confidential data, and protected resources. However, skilled attackers can exploit subtle weaknesses in how these steps are implemented on the server side, cleverly manipulating the entire authentication workflow to bypass one or more essential authentication stages entirely. This type of manipulation often involves intercepting, modifying, or forging requests exchanged between the client application and the server, thereby tricking the system into believing that a required authentication step has already been successfully completed. For instance, a determined attacker might completely skip the password entry step by directly requesting the subsequent stage, or bypass two-factor authentication altogether by crafting a request that simulates its completion. Such bypasses become possible primarily when the server-side application logic fails to strictly enforce the mandatory sequential completion of all authentication steps in the correct order. The potential damage resulting from a successful authentication workflow manipulation attack is extremely severe, including unauthorized access to confidential data, full account takeover, and broader system compromises. Once inside, attackers can steal personal information, siphon financial data, infiltrate critical business systems, and cause substantial financial losses alongside irreparable reputational damage to the affected organization. For developers and security professionals, preventing these dangerous attacks requires meticulous attention to robust server-side validation and precise state management throughout the authentication process. Importantly, each individual step of the authentication process must be independently and rigorously verified directly on the server, guaranteeing that absolutely no step can be skipped, bypassed, or faked by an attacker. Additionally, implement robust session management techniques, where each authentication step is tightly associated with the user's unique session state, and its full completion is validated before allowing any progression to the next phase. Always utilize strong cryptographic practices to protect all transmitted data in transit and ensure that every single API endpoint involved is properly secured, authenticated, and thoroughly validated against expected inputs. Furthermore, conducting regular security audits and comprehensive penetration testing is essential to proactively identify, analyze, and remediate any potential vulnerabilities before malicious actors can discover and exploit them. Ultimately, by enforcing strict server-side validation at every point and maintaining an ironclad secure authentication workflow, developers can significantly reduce and mitigate the risk of these sophisticated workflow-based attacks. In today's highly interconnected digital landscape, protecting user accounts and safeguarding sensitive data remains absolutely paramount, with a truly secure authentication workflow serving as your most critical first line of defense.